Marque el número dos. If you are, please stay on the line while I transfer you to the Veterans Crisis Line. Your call will be recorded and possibly monitored for quality assurance.
Thank you for calling the Veterans and Military Crisis Line. This is John. How can I help you today?
Hey, John, just need to talk to a human. You can throw it in my chart or send off a referral when we're done, whatever documents it. That's all I'm really trying to do.
Okay, sure. I'm all in for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, I'm here for you. How can I specifically help you, Mark?
Hey, I know that you have your protocols and the things that you have to do. That's usually very triggering for me. So let's take care of that at the very end. Does that make sense? In other words, don't ask me, the questions that you're trained to ask me, because then that just provokes me and I'm trying to de-escalate. You follow?
I mean, of course, let's engage. Okay, I'm all in for that.
Okay, respect.
How can I specifically help you?
Hey, listen, I'm a veteran. Clearly, I'm calling you, and I'm homeless again. The VA down in Reno decided, instead of looking at any of my previous medical records, and I'm neurodivergent. I do not claim to be normal in the least, right? But I contend and am diagnosed with Tourette syndrome and a dissociative identity, disorder, right? So that's been problematic, throughout my life, but in particular since 2015. And in 2023, I relocated from Vancouver, Washington down to Reno. And, problems started happening immediately. So I called the police department to identify myself as a disabled individual, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to prevent, negative interactions with the general public, if that makes sense. And because of that, there was going to be a lot of police interaction. And, I had fractured my shoulder and blown out my knee at the time. So that's what made me homeless in the Reno Valley. I had rolled my vehicle. So I had to go to the VA for medical services, and it was clear that I was having a mental health crisis. So I entered into their services, and instead of them getting any of my, civilian records or any of that other shit, they just decided that they would rely on their own goddamn wisdom and diagnose me with an antisocial personality disorder. Now, I'm not going to lecture you as to what the qualifying, symptoms, manifestations are for that, but I will assure you that it occurs in childhood. Another condition that usually occurs in childhood is Tourette syndrome. So for some reason, they, with antisocial personality disorder, that's sort of, there's a lot of cruelty in that diagnosis, meaning the traits that one demonstrates cruelty to animals, different things like that. Things that, are the exact opposite of who I am. But they decided that my defiant nature, because of my other conditions, it manifests in defiance to authority. And, the medical industry in general wants to be an authority, let alone the military fucking version of medicine. So they quickly made me a behavioral flag and then put 2 police officers on me. And because of my complex PTSD involving abuse from police officers, that would trigger me. I would disassociate. And then, the cops would arrest me or all this other shit. And, I got real problematic. I finally got housed. I did 6 months in jail so I could qualify for a program, which was at Nation's Finest Behavioral Health Center that was paid for by the VA. And they're sort of an affiliate to the VA, sort of like the SSVF is an affiliate to the VA. They're contractually bound, and it's just whatever they do. It was a 90-day program that took 9 months for them to complete it, because the goal was for them to get me housed. And why I did absolutely everything I was supposed to do, it still took them 9 months. And when I got housed on the application and all that other stuff, I have literacy issues with my disassociation, and that generally happens in moments of high stress. But anyway, I told them that I was disabled and that I would need some accommodations, and they said that we would discuss that in the future moving forward. Nonetheless, they ultimately decided that my disability was grounds for eviction, and because it was misrepresented to them by the VA. The VA colluded with the Sparks Police Department, and then the Sparks Police Department got a hold of this major fucking nonprofit bullshit corporation called Northern Nevada Community Housing, and had them evict me. And I appealed it, and it went to the 2nd District Court in Reno, and there it sat for 6 months. I would fire off motions and evidence, every time, Northern Nevada Community Housing would. So it was all filling up the files, and on what was it called? On Columbus Day, a federal holiday, they put a 24-hour lockout notice on my door, so I couldn't gain access to my money. I couldn't rent a truck. And then the next day, I was told 30 officers showed up to serve a lockout. Now, I wasn't there, and numbers, are frequently exaggerated, but that sounds accurate from, how they were treating me. They were telling everybody I was Jack the Ripper and I wasn't going to go quietly and all this, horse shit. Anyway, so I just got in my car, came up to Klamath Falls, Oregon, and cracked the transmission case. And I called my bank and told them that the vehicle was dead and I was staying at the Travel Lodge. And I said, it's going to cost more to fix it. I don't know what to do about it. I certainly can't just leave it here like a dead soldier. And without telling me, they came and stole the vehicle with my shit in it. So I had to buy all new fucking clothes. And, it was a struggle to get dog food and all this other shit. And then I called them to try to understand what the fuck was going on, and they told me that I voluntarily surrendered my vehicle and that they've frozen all my assets until they figure out how they're going to handle this. Now, that was weeks ago. I'm running the fuck out of food, and I'm absolutely fucking pissed. I'm absolutely fucking pissed.
And I can sense it on your voice. I mean, it sounds like you have gone through a lot.
Okay, don't placate me. Don't patronize me. But the point is, dude, could you imagine if you just kept on getting forced to live unsheltered, fucking homeless? You have to struggle to find a way to shelter yourself. And then all this fucking bullshit, dude. They seized my goddamn bank account, bro. Here's the deal. It's SSD, right? Social Security Disability. They are not allowed to seize those funds for anything other than like child support, student loans, or tax debt, right? It's exempt from seizure. But other than, the normal shit that, the government uses to smother the typical person. Everybody drowns in fucking student loans. Can't declare bankruptcy on that, bitch. But anyway, yeah, dude, I'm trying not to fucking really hurt somebody. And I have my own issues. I told you I'm not fucking normal. And, I keep on getting into conflicts. I have a trained de-escalation animal, but that's not preventing the fucking conflicts. And, by them starving me out, and I've been arrested twice. I've only been in town for a fucking month. Right? And then they tell me that they'll keep me in this hotel until December 20th. And then I'm motherfucking unsheltered homeless again because I can't get my goddamn fucking money. And I'm really trying not to hurt somebody, bro.
Okay, sure. And I appreciate it that you gave us a call. Because, that by itself is overwhelming. You're just trying to get to access to your assets. And at the same time, it's like your hands are tied behind your back. Like you can even do anything.
Well,
based on what I'm hearing.
you know, I record this shit and I put it on YouTube, and all my calls that I had with United Federal Credit Union have been recorded, right? And somebody made a comment on my YouTube channel, and I said, you know, pardon me for being so frank, if they do not release my goddamn funds, I'm going to raise so much hell, the flames are going to be licking their fucking assholes. I am beyond livid, sir. I am beyond livid. This motherfucker, when he spoke to me on Friday, told me that I couldn't eat over the weekend because it was past business hours on the East Coast. I said, motherfucker, you're on the West Coast, I'm on the West Coast. Open up my accounts. Give me back my fucking money. And he's like, well, I can guarantee you, sir, that anything like this will go through our legal department. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, completely dismissive of your current situation.
No, hey, listen, this has been over a year. That vehicle, there was only 3,500 of them made. I ordered it out of California. It showed up in Reno with a blown air suspension. I went straight to the fucking bank and I said, hey, please do not process those funds. They fraudulently represented the vehicle. They said it was 100% mechanically sound. I knew there was going to be some electronic issues. That thing's more fucking computer than it is engine, and the engine's pretty fucking big. But anyway, I disassociate during high stress moments. So, you know, to accommodate that disability, I video record myself. Right? That way, when you know, I come to again, I understand exactly, you know, what has transpired. And the bank manager came bursting into the closed office and told me that I wasn't allowed to record. I said, well, wait a minute. You're recording, you know, and I pointed to the two cameras that was in the closed office that I was in with the loan originator. And then I shut my camera off, and then he got in my fucking face. So, of course, I'm going to turn my camera back on. That's for my goddamn protection. And then he fucking freaked out and trespassed me. And I was like, dude, you're just fucking retarded. And then 2 weeks later, I went back to whatever it was. I don't remember how much later I went back. I didn't even go in the goddamn building. I went through the fucking drive-through. I put $200 cash in the little tube, my ID and my debit card. I gave them the instructions I wanted for my rent check, and I sent it across. I sat there for 20 minutes like a goddamn idiot. And then finally I went and I parked the car. I thought it was just going to be like, hey, did you guys forget about me? I left my fucking service animal in the car, and then all of a sudden the same fucking douchebag comes around in the corner with, you know, a bank envelope in his hand, and inside it he has, you know, my cash and my ID and my debit card, and he said that, you know, the police were coming. Okay, you vindictive fucking piece of shit. What, was your authority challenged? And you still have my goddamn money, but you're going to show me how much fucking authority you have over me? Anyway, the cops came and gave me back my fucking, you know, money and everything else. But because, you know, I'm problematic in the community, 2 weeks later, after the fact, the prosecutor who was persecuting me had me do 6 days in jail using the credit union as a victim. So, you know, as soon as it started going through, I said, hey, I want a mental health evaluation. Fuck you, I'm just disabled. You guys are treating me like shit. So they had a licensed social worker do a mental health evaluation of me, and she declared me mentally incompetent with no hope of future restoration. Therefore, it allowed the prosecutor to drop the erroneous charges against me and allow the credit union to get away with persecuting me. And because they keep on getting away with this shit, they keep on doubling down. Now they came and stole my car and then fucking locked all my funds. Dude, they had no right. I have the only key to the car still here at the hotel, right? Jesus fuck me Christ, dude. They took my clothes. They took some of my food. They definitely took, you know, my shit. And I'm fucking pissed, bro. And then they turn around and tell me I voluntarily surrendered the car. Fuck you again. And now I don't have access to my money because they're entitled by contract, but it's fucking disability, so they're not even entitled by contract, and they're so fucking dumb that they can't reverse the decision that they've already made, and I'm afraid I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
And I appreciate all this information because now I'm getting a better understanding of your situation. And that is so unfortunate that you have to go through that because You deserve to be treated with appreciation and respect, and I'm all in for that.
Hey, I'm all down with just being treated like a piece of shit, but, you know, not some persecuted piece of shit that you want to fucking snuff out and kill. Dude, I feel like the piece of shit under their fucking heel that they continue to try to rub off in the grass. Fuck all this shit, dude. Fuck all this shit.
Completely understandable. You're irritated, you're frustrated, you're angry.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I understand what you're doing. I just needed to get this out, right? I don't need you to parrot back my emotions. I am very, very self-aware, and that's my problem. You know, I have brutal honesty, and I offend people because I'm too smart for my own good, and I can't shut the fuck up about it. So if I come across anybody in a position of authority, they're going to show me just how much fucking power they have. I was arrested for going to City Hall, dude. I didn't even get out of my seat, and I was charged and arrested with for trespassing, disorderly conduct, and menacing. And I was only there once and walked out of the building and never went back.
Got it. And I wanted to highlight that. It seems, once again, that you're very self-aware of your current situation. And once again, I really do appreciate all this information, okay? Because
yeah, but the thing is, so
however, okay.
You and I can relate as a person, but you can't do fuck all about anything, right? So, yeah, now that you have this information, and I told you that I wanted to use you like a mental prostitute, I just had to, you know, express myself, and I had nobody to express it to, right? This persecution's real, this illegal activity is real, and, you know, I'm a disabled fucking veteran. I have protected rights afforded to me by the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. But, and there's all sorts of, you know, color of law violations here. The police are involved in this. They're coordinating this. The city manager is the guy in charge of the police. He weaponized his police force because I challenged his authority. He had me arrested on fictitious charges. And then when I called the police department to yell at them about that on Veterans Day, dude, on fucking Veterans Day, they came to my apartment and told me that they had a confirmed felony warrant for my arrest on a weapons violation. They took my service animal to the pound, knowing that the dog was going to have to remain there overnight, and thinking I didn't have the money to retrieve him in the first place. And I was booked and released immediately from jail. And then they were telling me that they're not going to give a registered service animal back to a disabled veteran. Dude, I'm really, really struggling not to cause immense harm. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty fucking proud of myself. Pretty fucking proud of myself.
And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper on that, alright?
Sure.
Okay, so, with everything that is going on, are you currently having thoughts of harming or killing someone right now?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. Who do you plan?
Police officers.
Okay. Do you have a specific plan?
Well, I have multiple plans, but at this point, I would certainly be operating on the fly.
What specific plan? Help me understand, because.
Well, you know, I've been talking about this, I think, for well over a year. You know, stating that, you know, I would, you know, go mobile and, you know, try to assassinate as many police officers as possible before they finally end my reign of terror in a blaze of glory.
Your intention to act upon those thoughts?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm doing much better. I've been saying that for about a fucking year. I was saying that I would symbolically do it on the day that they're trying me up in Washington State. I just got a continuance on that, so that symbolic date would have been moved to February 8th at this point. December 18th, I have to travel from Klamath Falls, Oregon, up to Clark County, Washington, you know, so the judge can evaluate me to make sure that I'm competent to be my own attorney. But Currently, I don't have the fucking $51 to buy the Amtrak ticket because the goddamn credit union not only made me keep a shitty fucking car that broke down and then stole my goddamn car, now they've locked my goddamn funds so I can't even meet my fucking obligations or feed myself. Thank fucking God I had 2 bags of dog food or somebody would already be dead.
And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper. Have you mentioned this concern within the VA, your social worker, your patient
Dude,
advocate?
fucking everybody. I scream it from the rafters. This ain't the first time this has been said.
Okay. And what did they tell you?
They don't do anything. Like SSVF, right? They put me up here for 60 days. Let me tell you how this works. SSVF is contracted through the VA, right? The VA doesn't do shit to house veterans. They pretend like they do shit to house veterans, but they let it fail constantly, and then they blame the veteran. So the SSVF will give you 60 days, and then they'll tell you that they will pay 6 months of your rent and buy you some furniture if you can just find your own housing. Well, dude, I have a service animal. I'm very reactive in high stress situations. There's no way that I can advocate for myself to get housing. So the VA won't do anything to assist me in get housing. So they just say, hey, it failed again. And then because, the SSVF helped me out, they get a bigger budget next year, and the VA doesn't have to do fuck all for anybody. And then they just fucking blame the veterans. They say, they're mentally ill, but they don't like saying that. They just like to say you're drug addicted and all this other horse shit. Or, he's combative, so we can't even work with him. It's a complete and utter weaponized incompetence. And yeah, I don't even want to talk about that right now because you're going to trigger me on a whole other fucking topic, sir.
Okay, got it. And once again, I might sound like a broken record here. Once again, that is so unfortunate. However, I'm gonna be honest and transparent with you. I definitely, like you mentioned, gonna be honest and transparent here. I definitely do not have a magic wand to make all of our situation disappear. However, I would do everything within my reach to assist you.
Okay, well let me tell you what that is. Let me tell you what that is. Absolutely jack fuck all. You are a compassionate voice on the phone that is quite simply meant to channel people into the mental health industry and get them on medications. That is the sole purpose of your job. They have created this mental health crisis quite intentionally. And ultimately, the means of control is going to be, pharmaceutical mental restraints. Think about the vast majority of the populace. They're already, on these fucking things to one degree or another. The average American takes 4 fucking prescriptions. Fuck all this bullshit. What are you going to do? You're going to notify the police, the ones that are, fucking making this happen? You're going to call the VA and say, hey, are you aware of this? And they're going to say, yeah, we're involved. I mean, what the fuck are you going to do, bro?
Okay, I'm here to just provide support.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I do.
Because that is what you wanted.
Yeah, but did you realize how many times I've called your services? That's not what I get, right? I get them all hung up on, these thoughts that I have. And these thoughts that I have are a rational response to the traumas that I'm being subjected to. This has been over 10 years, dude. They took my children. I haven't even spoken to my children in 10 years. I had, what is right now, because I just went on to Zillow to see what my properties are worth. The farm that, took me the farmhouse that took me 5 years to build myself. And for all those fucking people that want to question it, dude, just go fucking pull the electrical. The permits were already in place. So I didn't have to fucking pull construction permits, but I had to pull the fucking permits for the electrical. And it says right there that I was the motherfucker that did it. So, I'm tired of all these people just, saying that I'm grandiose. No, dude, I'm fucking well accomplished. And my fucking government is trying to fucking snuff me out. And I can't stop but, just standing up for myself. And they just keep on wanting to show me how much fucking power they have. But I've been documenting this for 10 years, and I keep on telling them, I said, you have no fucking power, because you know what? I just need to be involved in a death. You need to shoot me, I win. I need to shoot you, I win. I just need somebody else to try to fuck with me, and I kill them, I win.
And once again, that is so unfortunate that you have to go through that, but I'm here. And
Hey, listen, bro. Pretend like you know me, right? So don't give me some script, once again, that is rather unfortunate. I understand that you're saying that this oppression that you've been under for the last decade and the severance of your family and the alienation from society is probably bothering you. So, yes, I do understand. So I'm not looking for any of that shit, bro. As a matter of fact, I don't want to talk anymore, and I don't want to get you in trouble. So what other questions do I need to answer that you can check off on your list that satisfies this as a completed call?
I mean, I just wanted to make sure you're safe regardless. I know with everything that is going on. Just to confirm what I've heard, do you have a plan specifically to harm or kill the police?
Okay. Can I correct you? I have multiple plans. I fantasize about it all the time, right? If I have nothing going on, dude, I'm running different scenarios through my mind constantly, right? I have probabilities of outcome on different types of scenarios that need to be enacted in different situations. Have I acted on any of these? Fuck no. Am I a tactician? A bit of one. Is it bad to fantasize about, different events? I don't think so. I'm not the judge of me. Clearly you are. But I don't want to talk about this anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect.